I'm Stacey, and we're in the kitchen of my old Kentucky home. I'm waiting on my friend Jessica to arrive with some bourbon cocktails, but in the meantime, I'm ready to cook. Today we're making Kentucky Bourbon Balls. It's a great treat, and its history goes back to the late 1930s when two school teachers, Rebecca and Ruth, once heard a visiting dignitary say that the two best tastes in the world were their candies and fine Kentucky bourbon. And it took them 2 years to perfect the recipe we now know as Kentucky Bourbon Balls. Now, just about any Kentucky host worth his or her salt has their own recipe. And today, we're gonna make our recipe out of the Kentucky Derby Museum cookbook. Let's get started. These are the ingredients you'll need to make Kentucky Bourbon Balls. For the fondant, powdered sugar, butter, fine Kentucky bourbon, and optional if you have a nut allergy, these are chopped pecans. And for the dipping, either dark or milk melting chocolates. I'm gonna take a full box of powdered sugar, full stick of butter, and we're gonna work it in with a pastry blender, or the back of 2 forks will work as well. Now we're ready for the Kentucky bourbon, and a little for the host. So we have our fondant started, and you can stop here if you have anyone in your family with a nut allergy. We don't, so we're gonna add these chopped pecans and give this a good mix. Okay, now we're gonna roll them out of here. I usually like to use a tablespoon. You can make them as large or small as you want. I like them kind of bite-sized or within 2 bites. I'm just gonna roll them up and drop them on your parchment paper. Okay, we've got our bourbon balls rolled out, and again, you can, any size that you want, you can make. I'm gonna put these in the freezer. You can put them in the refrigerator overnight or the freezer for just about an hour or so they harden up, and then you're gonna dip them in chocolate. But while I do this, we're gonna go check and see what cocktail Jessica is mixing up.
So the perfect cocktail to pair with bourbon balls is, of course, a bourbon ball cocktail. And this recipe actually comes from the Kentucky Bourbon Cocktail book, written by legendary local bartender Joy Perini. And it's a really easy cocktail. All we need to do is take equal parts, which is going to be 2 ounces each, of Evan Williams small batch, dark creme de cacao, and Twaka, which is a vanilla liqueur. We're going to shake it all up and then garnish it with a strawberry. All right, so first we just need to fill up the cocktail shaker with some ice. And you typically do this on drinks that have fruit juice or a creamy component or an egg in them, just for adding some frothiness, and the ice chips aren't bad either. So again, we're gonna do the 2 ounces of Evan Williams, and then 2 ounces of the dark creme de cacao, and then just 2 ounces of Twaka. We're just gonna pop this top back there and give it a good shake. You gotta get really good to get the ice chips to chip off and to dilute the drink a little bit, especially since this is really alcohol forward. All right, that should be good. Pop that top off. And then we're just gonna strain into martini glasses. Right here. All right, so the final step now is to just garnish it with a strawberry. And there you have it, bourbon ball cocktail.
Okay, now that you've got kind of firm bourbon balls, you're just gonna put them in a teaspoon and dip them in your melted chocolate. Put them on the tray. So I think you can see both of these recipes are easy enough for you to whip up at home. Check out more of our Kentucky favorites at Culinary Louisville.
And we'll see you right here next time on Bourbon
And Biscuits. Cheers.
Cheers.